Hey everybody, it's YoshiCraft64 and welcome to the Adventure Remastered Developer Commentary. The Adventure Remastered is an SMBX episode that is essentially a reimagining of my very first SMBX episode, The Adventure. And I thought it would be fun if I went through the game and just kind of, talked about my experiences, the inspirations, and kind of the choices that I made, and yeah, I thought it would be kind of fun. So let's get started. So here we have Mario's house. This is this tile set is made by someone named Da Mario Man. Very good job with making it, and it's cool. It works well for Mario's house. It's obviously from Paper Mario, which is probably one of my biggest inspirations just in general. Maybe it's because of my favorite game. Favorite game of all time. But yeah, Mario's house looks really nice. We got a mailbox here. What's this? There's a letter from the princess in the mailbox? Dear Mario, please come save me. I've enclosed a mushroom to help you on your quest. So, that was actually pretty lucky. There is a 1 in 5 chance that the mailbox will have, that mushroom in it when you enter the level, which is pretty cool. Alright, let's begin. 1-1 Grassy Mixland. So this here is probably the most faithful level to the original in the entire thing. It's not like a direct recreation, but it is like very inspired by it. It has the same tile set, the same music, the same general themes and stuff, but it's just slightly better. At least to me, I think it's slightly better. Say whatever you will about the original. You can if you want. Anyway, yeah. There's a bit of a awkward power-up block, but whatever. It doesn't really matter that much. Pretty basic 1-1 here. Got your fire flowers and stuff, your Koopas, your Troopas, and stuff like that. And a Mega Mushroom. Before we do that, let's talk to this Toad, though. Hey, sorry that this is Wallace here. I hit a Koopa hit a switch, and all of a sudden these bricks appeared, and now I can't get home. Okay, let's help him out, I guess. Hey, thanks for helping me out. You're welcome, buddy. So that's the first level. Pretty something there. But you know what? We did it. Thumbs up. So, one thing that's special that I did for this episode is that each level, there's 5 levels per world, and each level is themed around one of the main themes that SMBX uses, which is Super Mario Bros. 1, 2, 3, and Super Mario World. The 5th level of each world is like a mixture of all the themes. Just does whatever it wants, which is what 1-1 was. It doesn't matter. The order isn't consistent between all of it. It's always it's in whatever order I felt like. And 1-1 is that here's the SMB1 level, which is NES themed, which is interesting because the rest of the game uses these All-Stars sprites and stuff, which is something. But yeah, the level that this is based on in the original adventure, for whatever reason, I decided to name it 8-Bit Lovania, which is a combination of the word 8-bit and Megalovania for some reason. I guess Sans had a little bit too much inspiration to me as a kid. I don't know. But yeah, this is the level. Pretty basic so far. We got that. I've been stuck in here for a very long time, hiding from the monsters. I always hear them behind the blocks, telling me to come out. Every day I think to myself, maybe I'll be safe here. Alright, buddy. You do you, I guess. We have a pipe here. Let's go in here. And, you fool! It's a ruse! Or is it? Because if we go in a second time, we get a secret bonus area with lots of money and blocks. This level is a pretty good way of getting lives because of how many coins are in this room. I think there's like well over 100 coins in this room alone, which is pretty good for getting lives. And there's also a couple other moments where getting lives is pretty easy, so this is a pretty good place to grind lives early on. Yeah, we're already almost at 100 here, and we haven't even gotten all the coins because we have this P-switch here. And that was the sound of heavy weapons guy eating a sandwich. That I believe it's a 1 in 50 chance of playing whenever you collect the coins in this room. Which is a reference to the Adventure multiplayer, which was a video that I did a while back where I played the original Adventure with a friend, and we made those noises while we were collecting the coins in the original equivalent of that room. I don't get why this guy is so scared. This is one of the easiest levels ever. He could literally just go beat the level. There's even a 1-up right there. And as the Koopa said, there's a 1-up right there. I've seen this trip up some people. I guess maybe I should have made it less easy to accidentally run into, especially because there's an enemy right there. But yeah, level here. That jump's a little awkward right there. That having the Koopa right there. If you don't have a fire flower, it might be a little weird, especially for a level this early. These moving platforms, pretty fun. And I mean, this should be expected if you're in this kind of level here. Welcome to Bonus Zone. And here's another example of easy lives. Just like also the 1-up earlier with the Koopa. Easy lives, easy place to get fire flowers as well. Pretty easy level and good level for grinding stuff if you need it, which is good. Here we get, if you look at my status bar there, we have our first star, which is pretty cool. So that was 1-2. Let's go to 1-3, the Highlands. As you can see, this is our Super Mario World level for this world, which is nice. Super Mario World. Yeah, let's keep pressing onwards. One thing I did with this level is if the platform is colored red, there's going to be an enemy on it. If it's green, then it's usually safe. Usually, keyword. Well, we'll get to that in a second, but if it's red, that means there's an enemy on it. There we go. More basic platforms here, moving platforms. Not that bad, I'd say. I don't know. I guess that would be... Yeah, here's an example of me breaking that rule. I guess it's because they're not really on the platform, so I guess it's kind of okay. And it's right before the checkpoint, too. That's kind of... Yeah, let's continue onward. With the level. We've got, more and more platforms. I don't really know what to say here. There's nothing really I can say about this. You got a propeller suit in the original version of this. Maybe I should have done that and make this whole thing a lot easier. More me breaking my own rule set. Here's an interesting part. If you don't have a fire flower, you could just go above, which would be easier because you don't have as much. You have more room to jump, but you don't get the coins. Hey, look, it's a Yoshi, except he's a fake. He's an NPC. I remember a long time ago, me and a friend were jumping on these platforms. He had a propeller suit, and I accidentally bumped into him. Both ended up game overing, and I haven't seen him since. That is another reference to the Adventure multiplayer, where that exact scenario happened on the original version of this level, and that is where the video ended, which was it was a pretty silly ending, very loud though. So yeah. And here we have the star for this level. That is our second star. Yes, I assume you can read the stat bar. Anyway, 1-4, a secret. This is our SMB 2 level. Before we start, these trees here, they're random every time that you start the level. They're in a random orientation, which is interesting. There's nothing to see here. Please move along. Ignore this non-existent thing behind me. You can go about your day. There's 1000% nothing here. Okay, buddy. Well, I want to see what's over here anyway, so... I told you! There's nothing to see here! Okay, well, I don't care. Anyway, of course there's something here. We have the, yeah, we have the SMB2 level, and this is, unfortunately, where the difficulty starts to spike a bit. I guess it makes sense because it's the SMB2 level, and SMB2 is a very difficult game, but, I don't know. It is pretty tough, especially in the older versions. I'm playing version 1.2, which is the most recent version, but, yeah, this level can be a little tough, especially in the earlier versions where there's no checkpoints because I forgot to add one. Here we have a Phanto. I'm just gonna go ahead and run forward. Yeah, I'm sure if you know Mario, you probably know Phantos. I guess one thing that is with this episode is that it kind of expects that this is not your first episode for SMBX. It kind of expects you to at least know the basics a little bit before you play. Especially with the coin grabbing, it doesn't tell you how to deal with the grass things, which does work a little bit different than how it does in the original SMB2, I suppose. I call that a copy mushroom because it copies whatever item you currently have into your reserve box, which is fun. Here we have another Phantom. I'm actually going to hold off on that one at first because I want to clear out the path ahead, because this section can be a little tricky if you don't do that. We have another Hoopster here. These Hoopsters will respawn if you accidentally kill them, because I had that happen a couple times and caused a soft lock, so I fixed that by making them respawn. Which is fun. We have a few more here, which these go down pretty easily. Alright, now that the path is cleared, we can just go run over. I suppose you could, if you're a gamer and you want to go really fast, you could just use the key as a weapon. That is something I like to do, but in this case, I want to play it safe. So we're just gonna go over here, grab the key. Phanto is kind of weird and awkward to avoid in this section, but as long as you play it safe and keep calm, then you'll probably be fine. He moves a little weirdly, kind of like he doesn't really know where you are, kind of, but he does chase you. Here we have Mauser, kind of weird, and that's my first damage because of how fire flowers work in relation to bombs. It's really annoying. Hopefully it doesn't snipe me here. He did. Okay. Okay, well, that's a little awkward of a spawn position for you, Mauser. There you go. Okay. That's Mauser done. He has less health than he does in vanilla SMBX. I believe he takes 5 hits normally, but here he takes 3. Because I guess it's because it's early on. Alright. Let's continue. The Oak Tree's Secret. Okay. There seems to be something in there. You can't make it out, and you can't go inside because of the force field. You get the feeling you need 21 stars to go inside. Alright. We'll be going back there much later then. Alright, 1-5. Larry's Atomic Waffle Cafe. This is our SMB3 level for the episode. Or for World 1, I mean. It's a pretty tough one. Like I said earlier, I'm playing on version 1.2. This level has been nerfed in every single version, including the 1.0 release, because I did make a demo that only had the first world in it, and this was even more difficult in that than in version 1.0. These things had collision. I think there were a lot more potaboos as well. So that was fun. This version is definitely the most playable in my opinion. There's no potaboos anywhere, but there used to be potaboos everywhere. Which is something. These are hotfoots. These are basically just grounded boos. They can be killed with the ice flower, because that's pretty much all the fire enemies that can be killed with the ice flower, which is nice. The ice flower is very strong in this episode, if you know how to use it properly. These things here, they signify where the rotodiscs are going to go, or atomic waffles as I like to call them, which is the namesake of the level, is the Atomic Waffle Cafe. And we're here right at the end. There's an ice flower in here, which you may need if you don't already have it. Anyway, wait, how did you get in here? I thought my atomic waffle factory would be enough to prevent you from getting in. I guess I'll have to deal with you myself. How about you? Anyway, this is the first boss against Larry Koopa. Yeah, this is quite a boss. Those hotfoots can cause a lot of trouble if you don't have an ice flower. And also the screen wrapping can cause a lot of trouble if you aren't careful. I'm being very uncareful right now. Oh, that ice flower came in clutch there. That's a very awkward spot for you, buddy. Aw, come on, you cheated! My Atomic Waffle Factory is gonna be so successful! Alright, and that's the level. It is our 4th star. Yeah, that boss is a little tough. I know in the original version, there's also vertical screen wrapping, which is fun. It makes the projectiles never go away, which is always fun. Anyway, I think that is going to do it for this episode. Next time, in the Adventure Remastered developer commentary, we are going to play through Dusty Dunes, which is the World 2. So, see you guys then. I'm gonna be straight with you guys. This is the 3rd time I have had to record this series, or record this video, because both of my previous times, I ended up having to, both of my previous times. First time, I messed up the intro, and I had to redo the intro. It's not that bad. Second time, I made it all the way to World 2, finished World 2, and I forgot to record the game audio, so it was just me talking. I guess you could include that. But I'm not going to. That's stupid. With the game audio, I literally talk about the music several times. It's like, that's bad. That's so bad. Ugh, okay, well, anyway, yeah. Yeah.